In the early universe, something impossible was already alive. A black hole so massive, modern physics still struggles to explain how it formed at all. It shines brighter than entire galaxies. Its gravity bends time itself. And if it existed where Sagittarius A is today, Earth would never see darkness again. The night sky would vanish beneath a permanent cosmic fire, brighter than anything humanity has ever witnessed. This is TON 618, a black hole so enormous that even the early universe may not have had enough time to create it. And it may be evidence that we still do not fully understand how the universe evolved after the Big Bang. In 1957, astronomers at the Tonantzintla Observatory in Mexico were surveying the night sky, searching for distant blue, stellar objects scattered across the darkness of deep space, among thousands of faint points of light. One object appeared almost insignificant, a tiny blue glow buried at the edge of visibility. At first, it seemed ordinary, just another distant star lost among countless others. Nothing about it suggested that it would one day become one of the most terrifying objects ever discovered in the universe. The object was eventually cataloged as TON 618. At the time, nobody understood what it truly was, because from Earth, all astronomers could see was light, a faint bluish signal that had already been traveling across the universe for billions of years before reaching our planet. But years later, scientists began analyzing that light using spectroscopy. Instead of simply observing brightness, they broke the light apart into individual wavelengths, searching for hidden fingerprints buried inside the radiation itself. And what they discovered changed everything. TON 618 was not a star at all. It was not even a normal galaxy. The light came from the violent core of a gigantic quasar, powered by matter falling into a supermassive black hole at enormous speed. The object they thought was a tiny blue dot was actually one of the most powerful energy sources ever detected in the observable universe. A distant beacon releasing more energy than scientists once believed possible from a single object. But even that impossible brightness was only the beginning, because the source of that light was still hidden. Something far larger was waiting inside the darkness. To understand what TON 618 truly is, we first need to understand quasars, because a quasar is not simply a bright object in space. It is what happens when a supermassive black hole begins feeding at a scale almost beyond comprehension. Around the black hole, enormous clouds of gas and dust spiral inward under the force of gravity. But instead of falling straight in, the material begins rotating faster and faster, forming a gigantic glowing structure called an accretion disk. Inside this disk, matter collides continuously at enormous speed. Friction heats the gas to tens of thousands of degrees. Some particles accelerate to nearly the speed of light itself. The result is an explosion of radiation across the entire electromagnetic spectrum. TON 618 emits radio waves, visible light, ultraviolet radiation, deadly X-rays, and extremely powerful gamma rays all at once. It does not merely glow, it floods the universe with energy. Scientists estimate that the quasar surrounding TON 618 produces as much light as 100 trillion suns combined. That is more energy than entire galaxies released together. And the most disturbing part is how far away it is. The light reaching Earth today began its journey billions of years ago, during the first age of the universe. Even across that unimaginable distance, TON 618 still appears brilliant enough for us to detect. If this quasar existed at the center of the Milky Way today, the night sky above Earth would disappear completely. Darkness itself would vanish. Every night would glow beneath a permanent cosmic fire, brighter than the full moon. But even the quasar itself was only the visible surface of something far more extreme. Because hidden behind all that light was the real monster. At the center of all that impossible light lies the true Colossus. The black hole inside TON 618 is estimated to contain the mass of 66 billion suns, not millions, billions. To understand how enormous that really is, compare it to Sagittarius A, the black hole at the center of our own galaxy. TON 618 is more than 16,000 times heavier. Its event horizon, the boundary beyond which nothing can ever escape, stretches roughly 400 billion kilometers across. The distance is so vast that our entire solar system could disappear inside it, from Mercury all the way beyond Pluto. And yet, the true horror of a black hole is not its size. It is what happens to reality near it. Around the edge of the event horizon, gravity bends light itself into warped circles surrounding the darkness. Photons that should have escaped into space become trapped in orbit. Light curves back toward itself. Space and time begin twisting together under the force of gravity. The black hole no longer looks like an object. It looks like a wound in the universe. Near the horizon, time itself slows dramatically. A few seconds close to the black hole could become years for the rest of the universe. To a distant observer, anyone falling toward TON 618 would appear frozen forever at the edge of darkness, never fully disappearing. Everything about TON 618 feels impossible. Its brightness, its scale, its gravity. But the real problem was not how terrifying it looked. The real problem is that according to modern physics, something this massive should never have formed so early in cosmic history. According to modern astrophysics, supermassive black holes are not supposed to appear instantly. They are believed to begin as much smaller objects formed from the collapse of the first giant stars in the primordial universe. Other theories suggest they may have formed from enormous primordial gas clouds collapsing directly under gravity before stars even existed. But in both scenarios, growth still takes time, a very long time. Black holes grow by feeding. They pull in gas, dust, stars, and sometimes even merge with other black holes. Over billions of years, they slowly become larger and more powerful. That is how scientists believe the giant black holes in modern galaxies evolved. But TON 618 does not follow that timeline. The light reaching Earth today left the quasar more than 10 billion years ago, when the universe itself was still extremely young, less than 1/4 of its current age. And that creates a serious problem, because according to current models, there simply may not have been enough time for a black hole to grow to 66 billion suns so early in cosmic history. Some scientists propose that TN 618 may have started from an unusually massive seed black hole, far larger than anything we normally expect. Others suggest the ancient cosmos may have contained regions flooded with enormous amounts of gas, allowing black holes to feed at extreme rates for long periods of time. But there is another possibility, one far more unsettling. The early universe itself may not have behaved the way our current theories predict. The conditions after the Big Bang may have been far stranger, more chaotic, and more efficient at creating giant structures than we realize today. And if TON 618 formed differently, then this black hole may not simply be an extreme object at the edge of the universe. It may be evidence that the early universe itself evolved differently from everything we thought we understood. Imagine approaching TON 618 from deep space. Long before you ever reach the black hole itself, the darkness ahead would already begin swallowing the stars behind it. The sky would no longer look normal. Space itself would appear distorted, stretched around an invisible center of gravity. Around the edge of the event horizon, light bends into glowing rings orbiting the darkness. Photons that should have escaped are trapped by gravity itself, circling endlessly before finally disappearing forever into the abyss. As you move closer, the universe around you would begin changing color. Radiation escaping from near the black hole becomes gravitationally redshifted, stretched into longer and darker wavelengths. Bright light would slowly fade into deep crimson, as though the black hole itself were draining color from reality. Above and below the accretion disk, gigantic magnetic fields twist violently through space. These fields launch enormous plasma jets outward at nearly the speed of light. Each stream carries enough energy to reshape entire galaxies across millions of light years. The radiation near TON 618 would be instantly lethal. X-rays and gamma rays flood the region continuously. No human body, no spacecraft, and no known material could survive exposure for long. And near the event horizon, even the meaning of time begins to collapse. There would be no true day or night, no stable sense of direction. Space curves around you like warped glass. The universe itself would feel broken. Beyond the horizon lies the singularity, a point where density may become infinite and every known law of physics stops working. General relativity and quantum mechanics, the two greatest theories humanity has ever created, can no longer fully describe what happens there. TON 618 is not simply a giant object in space. It is a place where reality itself begins to fail. But despite all its violence, this ancient monster may also be one of humanity's greatest scientific tools for understanding the hidden history of the universe. Despite its terrifying scale, TON 618 is more than a cosmic monster. It is also one of the most valuable windows humanity has ever found into the ancient universe. Because quasars are so bright, their light can travel across billions of years of space without disappearing completely into the darkness. Long before that light reaches Earth, it passes through enormous clouds of gas spread between galaxies. And hidden inside that light are clues. Tiny distortions and absorption patterns reveal what those ancient gases were made of. By studying them, astronomers can reconstruct the chemistry of the early universe itself. Quasars like TON 618 also help scientists trace the distribution of matter across enormous cosmic distances. They reveal how galaxies formed, how gas moved through intergalactic space, and how the large-scale structure of the universe slowly emerged after the Big Bang. In a strange way, TON 618 has become a giant cosmic flashlight pointed backward through time. The brighter it burns, the further into the past humanity is able to see. And that may be the greatest twist of all. One of the most violent and terrifying objects ever discovered may also be helping humanity understand where everything began. Galaxies, stars, matter. Perhaps even the conditions that eventually made life itself possible. Somewhere beyond 10 billion years of darkness, TON 618 is still burning, still feeding, still rewriting what we thought the universe could become. And perhaps the most unsettling part is this. We still do not know whether TON 618 is an exception in the universe, or a warning that there are even larger things still waiting in the dark.